Hey everybody, the other day we watched Monkey Man. So hey, what is the plot of Monkey Man?
Monkey Man follows the titular Monkey Man, who is a boy in India, who becomes a man in India, who starts as a professional wrestler and works his way up to being a low-level drug dealer man in a big drug operation so that he can get close to the people who killed his family and kill them. And it's a John Wick clone. But also there's a lot of scenes that are just like boring political commentary between the really, really good action scenes. So Connor, what'd you think of the half Monkey Man you saw?
Unfortunately, the theater I used to work at, used to run, erupted into hot drama because the newest bartender working there accused me of being a sexual harasser. She said when I awkwardly waved at her when I walked by that I was being creepy. So everybody was making fun of her with me because they liked me and they don't like her. So that was, people kept gossiping to me. You know, AMC, shithole company. It is what it is. Moving on. Anyways, from what I saw Monkey Man, it was like, what if we added some pretentious shot composition to John Wick,
Yeah.
the movie, and it took place in India? They tried to not really have like a super fleshed out plot until they started to, and then it's like, look, we all know this is a John Wick clone. It's a John Wick clone with some pretentious shot composition, Dev Patel. Get on with it, bro. Get on with it, bro. Because at an hour, I was like, okay.
The 70s style family film, or vanity film.
Yeah, no, the vanity film is back. Dev Patel has used all he's garnered to insert himself into a John Wick clone produced by Jordan Peele, taking place in India, but with some pretentious and boring shot composition to fill up pretentious and boring background snivel. It's the same complaints I have about every John Wick clone and every John Wick sequel, which the John Wick sequels at least continue to be well done, unlike most of these. And this is one of the better ones, despite how negative I'm coming off. But I don't care. When there's too much story I don't care about and not enough shooting, I'm upset. And when there's a bunch of shooting, I'm like, well, John Wick did it better many times now. So what do I gain from this movie? I guess maybe some of the sights of India were kind of cool. I kind of like learning about the crime families and stuff. But I don't know. It was... Dev Patel pitched to Jordan Peele, what if John Wick put A24? And then Jordan Peele said, here's money, buddy.
You're not wrong.
And then he did it. And they even mentions John Wick in the movie, in the vanity picture, as like a nudge to the audience because they knew he knew it would be compared to John Wick.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But I mean, John Wick's a genre now, so it'd kind of be like, I don't know, Die Hard and Lethal Weapon, you know, or like Beverly Hills Cop and fucking, you know, what's that one where Chris Farley's a ninja?
Hollywood
Beverlywood Ninja or
something like that.
Like the parody of the parody action movie of the parody action film.
Don't forget the entire genre of Leslie Nielsen spoof movies that are all rip-offs of better Leslie Nielsen spoof movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, it starts to become a snake eating itself a bit because there's also like probably 70 producers on John Wick because these motherfuckers there's one producer who's willing to sign on to every ripoff. But this one, they're like from the producers of John Wick and the producers of Us and Get Out, remember those? And the producers of
Yep.
blah blah blah. Because all these movies, 100%, they're like a star mate. They're like some at Hollywood star pitches to an executive at Lionsgate who's like a line producer on John Wick number 4 or something.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, what if, hear me out, I did John Wick. And they're like, okay, Carrot Top, you can have your own John Wick movie. And he's like, there's a gimmick though, because it's real funny, and it's like we already had that vanity picture when they did Nobody. And then he's like, okay, but what if I was a black woman? They're like, already done it.
Yeah.
What if he was Charlize Theron? It's happened.
What if Better Call Saul?
Yeah, that was Nobody.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. What if Santa Claus did it?
They literally did that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Saying it's another forgettable John Wick clone. John Wick did it better every time.
Sure.
Because John Wick gets the budget, you know? It's not just some vanity star asking the line producer John Wick to hire him some good choreographer.
Even when John Wick didn't
it's just like standard choreography at this point.
Even when John Wick didn't have the budget.
Yeah, well, John Wick, the first John Wick had the benefit of being
new and fresh.
New and fresh, and also being a simple story. Some of these try the simple story, some of them try the overly convoluted. John Wick somehow went from simple, and it worked really well, to convoluted, and I want to be annoyed about it, but it still works pretty well.
Yeah.
When you come into one of these new John Wick movies and it's overly convoluted, it's like you're losing me. But when it's not convoluted enough, I'm like, okay, no fucking world building. They're just ripping off John Wick. I could have saw it better in John Wick.
Yeah.
So, I got fucking bored, and I left the theater for probably 40 minutes of the movie to take a shit, play Pokemon Go.
The second set of action scenes were very good. But yeah, you did skip a lot of very boring scenes of like flashbacks to Dev Patel as a child running around in the woods and like scenes of like
I saw like 20 of those,
sad.
And then it's like he'll just say like some pretentious shit, or he's like, how are there rich people that have fun and do fun things when there's poor people on the streets? Dev Patel worth $15 million or whatever.
Yeah,
crying, his crocodile tears.
You're not right.
That motherfucker's not leaving Hollywood. You think he's flying back to India? You think he'd drive through that fucking impoverished area without getting fucking robbed blind? Or would he even attempt such a thing? In the movie he direct and starred in. Come on, it's a vanity piece. It's another vanity piece John Wick. Because everybody because they're like, okay, everybody loves Keanu Reeves because he did John Wick. Like, Keanu Reeves, classically terrible actor.
Yep.
He did The Matrix that put some wind under his sails, but he lost it again. Did nothing but shit from the first Matrix up to John Wick.
Too.
No, yes, he did.
He did Bill.
But the Bill and Ted movies he's known for, but they're still shit.
Yeah,
they're dog shit, and the Matrix sequels are all dog shit. The first Matrix is interesting and pretty decent, and Keanu Reeves looks cool. And looks like an anime character, so it doesn't really matter that he doesn't act good in it.
Yep.
But then John Wick, he doesn't have to act good, and he can be a badass stuntman. And then they're like, well, everybody loves Keanu Reeves for this, so I want to do this. And it also prints money, so I'm going to be a producer and find some fucking hack who got, like, fucking from the Chinese investors that brought you John Wick number fucking spin-off anime on Netflix that was 15 minutes long to promote John Wick 2, and they're like, good enough. Yeah. I thought it was lame. Rehash. I skipped half the movie because I got bored, if that doesn't tell you anything. But also, it's like, would I have remembered this at this point 2 days later if I didn't make a political statement by walking out of the movie to take like a 25-minute shit while I fucking play Pokemon Go, and then play Pokemon Go while the kids that used to work for me gossip about how the bartender is a fucking dumbass? I don't know. But it was funny either way. I had more fun not watching it than I did. So anyways, Aiden, what did you think of Monkey Man?
I liked Monkey Man. It is good, but it has the glaring issue of being way too long, and the stuff that makes it too long is not very good.
Yeah.
It's very well shot and interesting and creative. And And especially towards the start, there's a lot of creative stuff, like the scene where the kids are passing the drugs around through the city, and it's set to like Indian hip hop, and it's really stylish and cool. And both of the sets of action sequences are really fun and creative and energetic and well choreographed. They're a little bit shaky cam, but I think the action scenes are genuinely really good and creative and interesting. There's lots of really good shooting and cinematography and choreography and editing, but this movie just drags so much in the middle. There's so many scenes of Dev Patel as a child in the woods with his mom, and they're like talking about astrology and like his mom's like, "You're a Pisces, do you know what that means?" It's like a 7-minute scene, and then it'll cut back and
she's
Dev
like,
Patel's...
"Did you know in our religion there's an elephant with like 8 arms?" It's like, okay.
Yeah, and there's a lot of scenes of poor people looking sad and like really hammy political commentary.
Bro, how much has Dev Patel donated to the poor and hungry?
And it's like objectively...
And going to the Taco Bell drive-thru and rounding up don't count, you know?
For as much as I liked it, it's objectively hilarious that it's the return of like the vanity action film, written, directed, starring.
It's not though. Like all the John Wick clones are just vanity action films.
Only to an extent. Like none of them have had the balls to direct their own John Wick clone.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that Keanu Reeves hasn't directed one of these.
But for a first-time director, Dev Patel shows a lot of promise. An editor really needed to come through and snip out a lot of the middle and just get to the point, because this movie is too long. It drags.
It's a fucking snooze.
But for what it's worth, the fun parts are really fun. And it's interestingly shot, and it shows a lot of promise for Dev Patel as a director. But it does take a pretty big hit from the just kind of brutal middle, and even towards the end in the good action scenes it gets a little hammy when he like meets the Indian president, and the Indian president's like, "I'm Indian Donald Trump and I want to kill all the poor Indians."
Yeah.
And it's like it's exhausting, and it's a shame too, because it makes it feel like the action scenes are buried in the middle of something that I have no interest in rewatching, when the action scenes themselves are really good. It's an oddity. It's an odd little vanity picture. It's interesting that the vanity picture is back. I enjoyed the movie for what it's worth, but I would have a hard time rewatching it because it drags.
I mean, the vanity picture's always around. It's the vanity action picture that makes it more extraordinary.
Yeah.
You hear Millie Bobby Brown is like directing her own vanity project for Netflix?
Sounds horrid.
She's like, "I'm gonna make my own directorial debut, and my husband, Bon Jovi's son, is gonna play my lover."
Ugh. Rough.
Me, Millie, I look 60.
Anyway.
Like, wow, Millie. She's like, "Me, Millie, I was by Drake."
Anyway, Connor, would you recommend Monkey Man?
Would I recommend Monkey Man is the question. No, I basically unrecommended it to myself halfway through and walked out of the movie to do other shit, like play Pokemon Go, crap for 3 seconds, and then continue to sit on the toilet for like 30 minutes reading news stories and shit while my pants are around my ankles. Wander around, get to know people, have fun, basically just lived my life outside of watching this movie because I thought it was fucking boring. It's shot pretty well. He got a good cinematographer on this one. And if you want a good Indian action movie, watch Pathan. The only Bollywood movie we've ever watched.
First and last.
This channel, first and last. We had a blast. Never happening again. So Aiden, would you recommend Monkey Man?
I'm gonna give it a light yes. I do think it's good. It drags a lot. I still think it's good enough, but it's definitely got some pretty big issues in the middle. But the action scenes are really cool, and it's a nice directorial debut. Looks nice, and yeah, light recommend for me.